Hello and welcome back to What a Deck, YouTube's longest running Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling show. I'm your host, Hardleg Joe, and today we're playing Mr. Bird's Wild Ride, as brought to you by Patreon sponsor Davon Crushin, who wanted me to look at some wing beast archetypes, maybe some Harpies, some Simorghs, and after checking out both of them, I have come up with this, one of the meanest decks that I've ever made. This is a almost pure Simorgh lockdown deck, which, if it gets its 2-card combo off, can completely prevent the opponent from playing the game at all. Now, this is not the kind of deck I would normally make on this show, but today is a special episode. If you missed my most recent update video, this is actually the last regularly scheduled What a Deck that I'll be making. The show may come out of retirement at some point, I may make some bonus episodes, but for the most part, this is the last one I plan on making. The show is going to go into retirement from here, and instead, I'll be moving over to Master Duel and trying to do something similar to this show, but with a different name, different branding, maybe a little bit of twists. So if you like the show, the spirit of it will continue on. You'll still get duels with random funny decks, you'll still get me teaching you how to play. It just won't be in this exact form. So since this is the final episode, I thought that we would end off by revisiting that very first episode. If you've never seen the first episode of What a Deck, well, good on you, because it's not very good. Like most first episodes, it was horrible. But I played a deck that I called Last Warrior's Wild Ride, which was a deck all about summoning Last Warrior from another planet, a monster that prevents your opponent from summoning. The win condition of that deck was to make the opponent surrender by giving them a duel so boring they would want to do literally anything else. It was all about just preventing them from playing, the epitome of a troll deck. Now, over the years, I've eventually learned that those are not very fun to watch, nor are they very sportsmanlike, so I've moved away from them. I haven't played a lockdown deck in a while. But when I saw what you could do with the Simorghs, especially the new Simorgh card, and just the interactions between Dark Simorg and Anti-Spell Fragrance, I realized that I could capture that spirit again and do Mr. Bird's Wild Ride. And if you don't understand that name, look up Mr. Bones' Wild Ride on Google. That is I can't read the whole thing here. But either way, we're doing Mr. Bird's Wild Ride. We're recapturing the original spirit of What a Deck for one last hurrah. And I don't care what the ban list says, I'm playing Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty. I was building this deck for 2 weeks, and then yesterday the ban list came out and said, nah, your archetype card is banned because of Tri-Brigades. It's bullshit. I don't like it. It's not fair. Simorgh finally got a good card, and then they banned their other good card as soon as it happened. So we're going to be showing exactly why this thing is banned. We're just going to be trying to have a dandy old time. Be doing 10 duels against random opponents on EDOPro, just testing this out, showing you how it works. And if you want to skip ahead to those, you should be time codes down below. First, though, I guess I'll go ahead and explain a little bit about this deck, in case you want the basic deck profile. You want to know what Simorghs actually do, besides summon things from the deck. So at its heart, the Simorghs are kind of weird. In a lot of ways, they feel almost like a proto-attempt at what Fluundereeze would become. A lot of their cards give you additional normal summons. This does when it's normal summoned. Their new card is when you summon a Simorgh, you can reveal this in your hand. Normal summon another Simorgh. Their field spell lets you normal summon. So they're all about normal summoning multiple times, with the intent being to go up into tribute summons. They have 2 big boss monsters, Lord of the Storm and Simorgh of Darkness, which normally require 2 tributes, but you can use the field spell to reduce this to 1 tribute, and the Dark monster says if you tribute a winged beast for a tribute summon, you can summon him out of the graveyard. So there's some combos to get both of these on the field, and then once they're here, this is when your opponent activates a spell trap, tribute a winged beast to negate and destroy, and this says when your opponent activates a spell trap, tribute a card to bounce another card back to the hand. It's kind of weird. I think it's not just your opponent's spell traps, it's your spell traps too, so you can kind of trigger this with your traps a little bit. It's not the strongest combo. That's why we're playing a third Simorgh, an older card called Dark Simorg. This card says, your opponent cannot set cards. This has an interesting trolley interaction with another old card, the Floodgate Anti-Spell Fragrance. This says both players must set spell cards before activating them, and if you set a spell card, you have to wait until your next turn to activate it. So, having this normally just slows the game down, makes people wait on their spells, gives trap decks a little bit of an advantage. But if you combine this with Dark Simorg, it forms a lockdown of all spell traps. They can't set any cards, and since they must set both traps and spells, they can't activate any of those. You combine this with Harpie's Featherstorm that negates all monster effects for an entire turn, and something like Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds that says you can't special summon except for wind, and your opponent will not be able to activate spells, traps, monster effects, or special summon. And you combine that with the Simorgh spell trap that, prevents them from attacking your low attack monsters, and the link that prevents them from being targeted, and this lockdown is basically invincible. In fact, I theorize that the reason they banned this is not because of Tri-Brigade, but because making this is so easy with Simorgh Bird of Extermination. In addition to giving you another normal summon of any Simorgh, including itself, this thing can dump a Simorgh from the deck to the graveyard as cost to search any Simorgh spell traps. And in addition to the cool trap that I mentioned, the field spell that lets you tribute summon, they've got one hell of a searcher that lets you discard a card to search 2 monsters, which can really get your combos going. Especially because, in addition to their weird normal summon focus, all the Simorgh cards, except for the high attack ones and this one, have a second effect. It says if your opponent controls no spell traps, you can special summon them from the graveyard, but banish them when they leave the field. This means all your discards, all your dumps into the graveyard, allow you to get more fodder on the field for link summons and even some Ixie summons. You're locked into Wing Beast, so you can't go full ham, but being able to make the Simorgh link, which can the end phase can search either Barrier Statue or a negation in the form of Apex Avian, or any of your lockdown cards, is just a very strong thing. That's also why we're playing things like 2 Twin Twisters in the main deck, Harpie's Feather Duster, Icarus Attack. Not only do these get cards into your graveyard that you can use, but they blow up the back row, allowing you to keep them off of spell traps and allow your monsters to be summoned back next turn, so you can make some pretty cool things, including Tri-Brigade Shureg, who just happens to be a winged beast. So that's our main thing. We're going to try to go first, we're going to try to lock down completely with this brutal combo, and if that doesn't work, we can still make some Link plays, some Ixie plays, Iced Beast Zeraphane is funny, and these are still nothing to sniff at, even if we can only get out 1 or 2 of them. Same thing with Harpie's Featherstorm. Even if we don't get the full lockdown, being able to blank monsters for 1 turn, pretty brutal. But yeah, enough talking, let's get into the action. 10 duels against random opponents on EDOPro. Let's test this out, show you how it plays, and hopefully we'll have a little fun. Alright, here we are, first duel versus my arch nemesis player. And we're going first, baby. Which is exactly what we want to do. Let's go ahead. What do we got here so far? Not the greatest hand. We open with 2 things that we want to summon off Simorgh. Let's go ahead and use the 6-card banish. Hopefully we can draw into our search card. It's never easy trying to pick out what you want. I'm going to banish one of the Simorghs though, because we have 2 of them, and they're kind of extra. Usually if you can get 1, you just end the game automatically. So we'll look at the top 6, we get to add 1, there's the Simorgh search. Although, I don't think we actually need it, because we've got this and we've got this. And, yeah. So we're actually going to take the Bird of Extermination. This is our 2-card combo. If we got the search, this is probably what we'd go for anyway. So we can normal summon the Simorgh Bird of Bringing. This searches any Simorgh card when it's summoned. And when you normal summon, you can reveal this and then summon an additional monster. An additional Simorgh. So there it goes. So this will resolve, and using this we'll want to get... Yeah, we'll want to get the Onslaught. And then this, when it's summoned, can send a card as cost. We're going to send the big Dark Bird. And we're going to search the field spell. So then we're going to use Simorgh Onslaught. We're going to discard a barrier statue. And get 2 winged beasts, one that's dark and one that is wind. So we'll go ahead and get Dark Simorg and Lord of the Storm. We'll activate the field spell. So this, if you control a winged beast, you can reveal 1 winged beast in your hand, and you can normal summon it with 1 less tribute. Hey. And actually, because I'm kind of worried about Nibiru, what I'm going to do is this also gives you an additional normal summon. We're going to normal summon the Apex Avian. Oh. I guess we only needed 1 tribute anyway. So yeah, when you tribute or summon a monster, you get to summon this back out. From the graveyard. Hey. This is probably better than Lord of the Storm. Lord of the Storm is honestly not all that great. Let's see here. Do I have a wind and a... I do. I have a wind in the dark and the graveyard. So let's go ahead and do that too. It's not the perfect combo. It's a little bit better if you can discard some of your Simorghs, then you can make links or whatever. But it's insulated against Nibiru. And it's still a pretty good lockdown. They can't activate traps. We get an Omni negate, a spell trap negate, and as soon as... I mean, we probably should have done this in the standby phase. But this is a pretty good card in general. It's something that I didn't play at first because it... Is this a fucking mirror match? Excuse me? Alright, well, I'm not gonna allow you that. We'll set that. And we're gonna go ahead and activate this. This is something that didn't seem good at first glance, but is actually pretty nice if you can search it. It says your opponent cannot target a winged beast for attacks or with card effects, except the one with the highest attack. Yeah, and they surrendered. So we got them with a lockdown enough. But yeah, so that means that they can't attack or target anything except for the Simorgh of Darkness. So if they want to try to get rid of this to set their cards, or this to do stuff, they're not going to be able to. And this is particularly useful when you have the lockdown where you summon the barrier statue. Because then not only can they not target the barrier statue, they can't even try to attack it. Which is just brutal. So we get 1 win. I'm on the competitive server, so I don't feel as bad about stomping these people down. Let's see how that goes. If we end up getting some losses in here, then maybe I'll end up going over to the casual server. But from all the testing I was able to do, which was not much, because not many people are playing EDOPro at the time, unless I get hit with like 3 hand traps, I'm usually pretty good to do a pretty brutal lockdown, but we'll see how it goes. You never know what the future will hold, baby. Alright, here we are, duel number 2 versus Flash Ghost, and I guess I should point out that in this case, my name is just Hardleg. I'm just rolling in Hardleg, which is again another reference to the very first episode. And we're going second, which is not good. I haven't had a lot of time to test how much this can play through Disruption. It can do a little bit, especially if you get the Bird of Extermination. The way that timing kind of works messes with a lot of people. The fact that you could summon out of the graveyard. It really matters a lot how much back row they put up. Because if they put up a lot of back row, then I'm not going to be able to summon my things. I'm not going to be able to do the stuff that I want. If they just end on a couple monsters, even if those monsters have negates, the fact that any Simorgh once destroyed can just bring itself back for free means I can usually still climb into a link of some kind and then make a stance. And of course, we've got a couple of cards like Icarus Attack that, while a little slow, allow us to kind of play the grind game. Because again, you know, I can normal summon something, use it for Icarus Attack, not only disrupt their turn, but then on my turn, I'm going to be summoning those monsters back. So I haven't looked a whole lot into the Neo stuff. Most of my experience with it comes from playing the Hungry Burger deck. Which didn't use stuff like Utopic Sage or the Zubaba Dododo. I did play this, Astral Sage. That's pretty good. You're gonna search yourself a, whatchamacallit, Ixie Change Tactics? Get as many draws as possible? Yeah, he is. Alright, so we may be a little screwed, and this may take an eternity. So we'll use the magic of editing, and we'll be back when he's done doing stuff. Well, doesn't that just grunkle my dunkle? What do they got here? What does this do? Cannot target monsters with card effects. If a monster is equipped, would be destroyed by battle. Destroy this card instead. You can negate a monster effect that activates on the opponent's field. Alright. So, let's go ahead and just Twin Twisters now. We'll send this off, and let's destroy this, and whatever this face down is. Hopefully one of this doesn't prevent me from, like, destroying face down cards. But he's got the Abyss Dweller, which means I'm not going to be able to summon my things back, even if he didn't have 4 cards. Oh yeah, Hope Harbinger. I was so busy looking at his new cards, I missed the old cards. So let's see. You can negate that monster effect activated. Okay. So I think what I want to do is normal summon this. Try to use this. That'll undoubtedly get negate. No? Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'll get negated. And then I'll be like, oh no, what will I do? I can't possibly survive this. And I mean, to be fair, I probably can't. Let's, this only stops spells, right? Yeah. Let's go ahead and flip the anti-spell fragrance right now. Just prevent them from blowing up our back row with Lightning Storm or something. Don't want to have to deal with that, I tell you what. This can't attack directly. It can attack into my face, though. And I'm going to hold off on this as long as I can. I think we may have just been locked down, though. Going into that. And yeah, what we're going to do is activate the Icarus attack. Blow up this, and we're going to destroy this and this. That way we can get our... Oh wait, we can't get our graveyard effects because they control all the spell traps. I can't destroy this because they have the equip stuff. Just detaching anyway. Okay. Yep, I think I may be doomed. Oh yeah. I always forget this has another effect and then I destroy stuff. Okay. So, we lose going second. That happens from time to time. When we get a whole bunch of negates and everything. So weird. You'd think that would come up more with Titanic Galaxy, but it's usually not made alongside a whole bunch of other stuff. Either way, go ahead into the third duel. Duel number 3 versus Sack. The sackiest sack since Lack came from the back attack. And we're going first. Let's go ahead and activate this. And once again, we're going to do 6 because we've got nothing in our hand that we would want to summon, really. We really need to get into our thing that lets us search all the things. The 3, 4, 5, and 6. Difficult picking sometimes. And it was on the top, so we didn't even have to worry about it. Could have done 3. Could have had a V8. Doesn't matter what order. They're going on the bottom anyway. Okay. So, let's see. If this is normal summoned, you can... I always get these two confused. This one is slightly more useful, though. So, if we're going to discard one, we're going to discard this one. And we're going to, of course, get our Simorgh Bird of Extermination and our Bird of Bringing. Let's bring that bird, and my opponent has surrendered. They must know what Simorghs can do. They must be prepared. Hard to say, hard to leg. It's sad because I was hoping to get that combo. If I don't get the combo off, I'll show you at the halfway point. But there is one that it's just like, it's just these two, and it does some pretty nutty shit. Anyway, let's go ahead into the fourth duel. Alright, duel number 4 versus Jade. Could this be Jade from Mortal Kombat? Is this Jade Chan from Jackie Chan Adventures? Is this just a dang old emerald? A gemstone? A rare shiny gemstone. Oof, we got our 2 great going first cards, but we must go the second. If they can establish a board, once they establish it, the fact that we have floodgates don't really help us all that much. Not much we can do if they already got spells and traps on the field. I mean, at least we got the Twin Twisters. We could twist this away. Oh, hey, it's Dragon Maids. Those seem to be getting a lot more popular with Master Duel. I seem to be seeing a lot of those, and I got at least one friend who's like, dude, did you know there were Dragon Maid cards? I don't know why those are so appealing to people, but they're definitely appealing to people. Looks like they're not going for, like, the full, like, Dragon Link summoning. I was looking up combos for this, and, like, there are some that will end on, like, Crystal Wing and, like, a whole bunch of other, like, Heavenly Spheres. And there are some that just end on this. And they have no spell traps, so we should be pretty good. We've got one of our things that we want to search. They don't have any interruption unless they've got something in their hand. They do have their loop set up, so they're going to be able to get back to everything they want. So let's just do 3 this time. Look at the 3. Ha1. A Tahoo. Ha3. Whoop. Nope. Unfortunate! I guess I should have done 6. Shit sucks, bro. I guess we get this. I think we could still do it. Okay, let's see here. So we normal summon this, and this gives us an additional normal summon. I like additional normal summons, because if I normal summon this, I could search any Simorgh card. Unless they Ash Blossom me. Are they gonna ash my ass? They ashed it! Oh! Unfortunate. So let's go ahead and make Harpie Conductor. Woohoo! Chugga 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 chugga. And then we can bring these back. Okay, so we can bring this back. What do we got here? They've got the Tin Kek in the grave and the blue, so they could do both of them. Question is, what do I want to do? Well, I could banish one of them from the grave. That wouldn't help too much. Because I could go into Simorgh the bird. I could end on the barrier statue, but that wouldn't do much. I could end on the thing, but they could just attack over it because I don't have any of my protection cards. I think the best bet is actually to go into the Tri-Brigade. We're playing Tri-Brigades now. Just go into Shureg. Shureg, Eddie. So we'll banish that. Just get it out of here. And you know, going to battle phase doesn't do anything because then they'll just like summon them back and trigger out the effects and get more stuff. So instead, I'm just going to set, and end my turn. No battle phase for you. And then just to make sure they don't fusion or get anything out, let's go ahead and activate Anti-Spell Fragrance now. So now if you want to summon your fusions, you have to set them first, and then bring them back. Heavenly Spheres. Going into the spheres. Turn one face-up card to the hand. You Yep, we're gonna Twin Twisters that. Get rid of the Imperm. Alright. Let's bring back the Simorgh. That'll trigger this, because whenever you summon a beast, wing beast, or whatever, you get to non-targeting bounce. Or banish. And there we go. I think we won the game. We did it, guys. Good job. Good job, me. I'm so smart. I'm so smart. I've got things and I never fart. And even when I do, it doesn't smell, because I send all my opponents to hell! Alright, duel number 5, the halfway point versus G Cruz Brazil. Come to Brazil! Okay, I learned my lesson last time. I'm gonna do 6. You always gotta do 6. Man, this is just glued to my hand, too. Crazy that I get so many. Haven't even done the lockdown yet. Haven't even needed to do the lockdown. Not entirely. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Good, nothing. Oh, wait. Better than good. Yeah, we're gonna take this one. I don't care what order you're in. The unfortunate thing about this is that you must discard a winged beast monster. You can't discard like an extra card that you don't need. Let's go ahead. I always get these two confused. You want to get Extermination and this one. Okay, so we're going to normal summon. Activate the effect. We're going to activate this effect. We're going to normal summon. Let's get the field spell. I've already got the other bird. Yeah, let's get the field spell. And then this will resolve, because this was normal summoned. Or not! Okay, I guess I fucked everything up a little bit, but that's fine. Such things happen from time to time. I thought that it could miss the timing. They made a modern archetype that can miss the timing. What shame we have brought to this dojo today. Oh, I've got to normal summon this. This'll do everything. Okay. We're back on track. We're back on the Alack attack. Let's get the Simorgh Sky Battle. We're gonna go ahead into a... Yeah, we're just gonna go into the Sovereign. There we go. We'll set this. This is not the lockdown I was hoping for, but sometimes it's the lockdown that you need. And actually, let's go ahead... None of these have more, but we can only use once per turn, so let's just summon this back just to have extra material. And then during the end phase, this will activate, and we'll get a dang old barrier statue. Summon the bears! And we'll go ahead and activate this. Can't target me. Nothing can be targeted. Can't even target for attack. You gotta attack this first. If you got a Pankratops, it wouldn't quite be enough. It would be close. But yeah, this is not the full lockdown, obviously, or even the full Simorgh combo. In fact, you could probably do this with other decks. Except for this part, you kind of need a specific Simorgh to protect your barrier statue. They have a wind! 2,500 attack. They can use the effect. Does it target? It does target. But they could send this away. Because they can... Oh, wait, no. Your opponent cannot target this card or a winged beast with card effects. Control. Your monsters cannot attack this target for attacks. You can only use each one. Send one card. Special summon an ancient warrior. You gotta be another wind. That has enough attack! Holy fuck! Here I am getting all confident about stuff. I shouldn't have. I should have been wetting my pants. I should have been quivering in my boots. I should have been shaking and baking. Well, doesn't that just ruffle my feathers just a little bit? Trying to think. Obviously, if I had Harpie's Feather Storm, I could stop that, but I didn't. Drawing a card. Oh yeah. I can destroy another Harpie card, or another Simorgh card. Instead of, if this would be destroyed by battle. I knew there was a reason I summoned that other Simorgh back. I might not have known it on an upper level, but subconsciously there was something like, you'll need another monster. It knew. Now granted, this doesn't get me past my problem. I still have a problem, which is getting over this 3,500 attack point monster. It's pretty brutal. Not gonna lie. NLG. Is Tri-Brigade Shirego Wind? No, he's a dark. He's one of them dark monsters, so I can't summon him through the barrier statue. Okay, the lock remains. Apes together strong. Probably the best line from a movie of the last 10 years. You don't even have to see that movie, you know it. It's like Soylent Green is people. It's just been parodied so many times. But it's also like an actual... It's such a simple line, and yet it makes so much sense. Humans must work together. We are like the apes. The planet of the apes was Earth all along. You understand? Okay, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Okay, what do I want to get? Do I just want to get, yeah? Yeah, I think I just want to get this. Let's go. Let's go! Hey, this is like exactly what I needed. So we can normal summon this. And when this is normal summoned, I can target one card in your back row, return it to the hand. Not often useful, but useful in this specific situation so that you could summon back all sorts of things. Like one of these. Hey, how's it going? I can activate this, I can use one less tribute. I like one less tribute. That sounds nice to me. And then we'll tribute summon. Haragglebar! Ooh, do I have enough to make Haragglebar? I don't think I do. Oh wait, yes I do. I think. Pretty sure. Let me see. The neat thing about these is like you bring them back, right? And then you can go into like Harpie Conductor using these two. And that one will get banished. But this one hasn't used its effect yet, so this one can come back. So we go into this. And then we could summon the only Link 3 that's a winged beast. Harassglablar, the Desperate Doom Eagle. Once per turn, you can banish a monster from your opponent's graveyard. And if they have no monsters in their graveyard, this thing's attack goes to 5,100. Well, it adds 2,400. It's a big attack, though. Now I can get over their Ancient Warrior, unless they summon one from the hand, but I don't think there's one of those. I could negate it anyway. I'm a negating fiend. It was a valiant effort by the Ancient Warriors. They fought harder than anyone. And I only won because I did something inexplicable that I shouldn't have done. Or at least didn't know that I should have done, but I did it and had done it. Or something. We're gonna wait out the timer? No. What does this do? When your opponent, you can draw a card. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. I don't care. Draw a card. Get punched. Let's go for 32 over the Loyal Guan Yun. Let's go for the 3,000 over the Virtuous Lu Huan. 27. Not quite. Activate this in main phase too. I could. Let's go ahead and try it, shall we? What 3 cards do we not need? This, and this. That's exactly what I was looking for. Let's get the anti-spell fragrance. Let's set that. Then in the end phase, we use the Simorgh. Use the effect of Simorgh to summon... Dark Simorg's not here. I guess it's in the graveyard or something. That's fine. I thought I could summon Dark Simorg, but it turns out I'm just a buffoon. Either way, if you've got a Lightning Storm, if you've got a Dark Hole, if you got something, the only thing that gets past this is evenly matched. If he has evenly matched, he could still activate it. Because this just says spells must be set. So if you have a trap that you can activate without setting it, then you could do that. Set and everything. I've got 2 spell trap, like, destroys. Yeah, I guess go ahead. I've still got this out. GG. Indeed. You fought hard, you did valiantly. What happened to Dark Simorg? Did I leave Dark Simorg out of this deck? Am I just dumb? I guess we'll find out in the halfway point. No, Dark Simorg's right here! He's right in the main deck, where he's always been. I don't know what happened. I guess my eyes just kind of glazed over. I get that way sometimes recording What a Deck, which, by the way, I should go ahead and take off my hat and... Well, you know, normally this is where I'd tell you to, like, join the Patreon or whatever. And obviously, I'd still appreciate if you did that, but I feel a little bad because, you know, I'm canceling this show, and even though I have told you that the new show will be similar to this, you haven't seen it yet, you can't judge for yourself. So I don't think I want to tell you to join the Patreon if you don't know exactly what you're going to get. If anything, if you're already a Patreon member, maybe look over and make sure it's something you still want to do, because I don't want you to support something if you don't like it. I appreciate the people who stick with me regardless of what I do. It's very nice of you. But, you know, you don't have to. I'm not going to sit here and try to, like, you know, convince you to stick with me or whatever. You can make your own judgment. But hopefully I can earn your trust with my future content that I'm bringing in here. Hopefully you'll like it just as much, maybe even more than what we got here. Anyway, all that aside, I told you that if we didn't get the perfect lockdown off in the first 5 duels, I would show it to you here in the halfway point. So let's go ahead into a test hand, and I'll show you the perfect 4-card combo. So here you go, this is all you need. These 2 Simorghs in particular, which I've already kind of talked about, which, again, you can search with the Simorgh search card, which is itself searchable with this, so you have a lot of ways to get into this part. The hard thing is hard drawing these 2. Harpie's Featherstorm, you can play Trap Trick if you want to make this much more consistent, which, I mean, if you're doing the meta version and just trying to lock people down, that might be worth it. But as far as I know, I don't think there's any way to search Anti-Spell Fragrance. You kinda have to just hard draw it. But if you do, if you get your combo, here's what you do. You summon Simorgh Bird of Bringing. Activate that effect, and then you're going to activate this effect, the extermination that says when a Simorgh is summoned, you can summon a Simorgh from your hand. Now with this, you can search any card, that includes the spell traps and the monsters, but since you get the monsters, you want to get Dark Simorg. And then this will activate. This lets you send a Simorgh to the graveyard and then search a spell trap. Oftentimes, we're sending this to the graveyard because if you contribute summon, then you get both of these. This comes out of the graveyard. But for this particular one, you just gotta send any Simorgh, really. And in fact, you don't even have to use this part of the effect if you've discarded a Simorgh to activate the search spell. But we'll just send this. Doesn't matter, really, though. And let's go ahead and search our trap. So from there, what we're going to do is use these 2, and we're actually going to summon a Harpie's Conductor, because that will give us an extra wind in the graveyard. This will also be good because I think this plays around Nibiru? No, actually it doesn't. Not quite, but it's fine. Yeah, you do have, because Harpie's Conductor is a Harpie card, you can activate this from your hand if your opponent tries to, like, hit you with a hand trap at this point. But then you're going to go into this, so you're vulnerable again. But you do have that brief point where if they're not paying attention, you might be able to get a free negate off. So either way, we're going to go into these two. That'll banish one of them. And then what you're going to do is summon back the other remaining Simorgh. And then Dark Simorg can be special summoned from your hand by banishing a Dark Monster and a Wind Monster. So we got our Extermination, which has no effect in the graveyard anyway, so you're not losing anything. And the Harpie's Conductor we made. From here, we're going to set our 3 cards. And then during the end phase, the Bird of Sovereignty will summon Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, which is probably why it was banned, being able to lock you out of special summons. That, and this already says that your opponent cannot target this card, or a winged beast that this monster points to. So we've got targeting protection for this already. But then as soon as the standby phase goes, we're going to activate Anti-Spell, we're going to go ahead and activate Harpie's Featherstorm, and we're going to activate Simorgh Sky Battle. So because of Dark Simorg says they can't set cards, so we've locked down traps. They must set spells before they activate them, and since they can't set cards, they can't activate spells either. They also can't set monsters, so there's not even, like, a way to stall with face downs. This says they cannot special summon except for wind monsters. This says they cannot activate monster effects or they will be negated. That's hand, field, graveyard, lasts the entire turn. And then the final part of this lockdown is the Simorgh Sky Battle, which says, again, none of these can be targeted. So even if they want to, like, kaiju this and they happen to have the wind kaiju Godarla, like, if they kaiju this, we still have this saying the only thing you could target with effects is Dark Simorg. So even a kaiju and like an infinite impermanence wouldn't save you here. So all you can really do is normal summon, but you can't attack this because the trap says you can only attack the Simorgh with the highest attack, which means you have to attack through Dark Simorg first, then the Bird of Sovereignty, before you can get to Barrier Statue. And if that weren't enough, as you saw in the previous duel, Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty, if it would be destroyed by battle, contribute off of Simorgh instead. So they actually have to destroy 3 things with over 2,000 attack by battle before they could get to the Barrier Statue of Stormwinds. So essentially, unless they're playing a wind deck, they're kind of screwed. So as far as I know, the only cards that can get over this are like a raw sphere mode, because that normal summons by tributing over 3 cards, so they could get rid of the whole combo with that, or evenly matched. Because evenly matched, even though it's a trap, you don't naturally have to set it, so it gets around Dark Simorg. Anti-Spell doesn't say you have to set traps before you activate them, so being able to activate a trap just from your hand means they can banish most of the board. However, that will leave you with the Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, and since it's past the battle phase, they won't be able to attack over it, so you might be able to recover something in main phase 2. Possibly, maybe, or not main phase 2, but your next turn. So there is the full mean combo. That is what we're trying to get. And as you've seen, sometimes we just get parts of it. Sometimes we don't even need the full thing. And unfortunately, though, this pretty much requires the Simorgh. That's why this thing is banned. And it's unfortunate that this thing is getting banned because this Bird of Extermination is coming out, I believe, February 14th. And the ban list that bans this is February 7th. So we'll never actually be able to play in the TCG with both of these legal. At least not until this comes off the ban list in probably a couple years. And by then, who knows what the game will look like. So there's the main combo, and everything in the deck is basically just designed around getting you to that. We play Anti-Spell at 3, so you're most likely to draw it. We play Harpie's Featherstorm at 3, so you're most likely to draw it. Same thing with Bird of Bringing, same thing with Bird of Extermination, and of course the Simorgh Onslaught that you can use to search them. We're playing the other Simorghs mostly because you need to discard a winged beast in order to use this, and there are also some optional other combos where, like, if you get stuck, you can use this and this to at least make the Sovereignty and then go into the Barrier Statue or go into the Apex Avian. So the rest of these are just recovery cards, / we need something to discard for these. Something you can discard that can again be brought back and make more Link monsters with. Of all the Simorgh cards, the only one I chose to play it to was this Bird of Calamity, which is just a foolish burial, which doesn't help you all that much, especially if you're going in the later turns and your opponent has already set up. I usually find it's better to have this, although now that I'm thinking about it, being able to special summon might be better than 2 normal summons. It really kinda depends. Or maybe both of them would be better than this. I play the Protection because it's really good if you go into that second turn, if you don't get your combo. Being able to bounce back one spell trap that your opponent controls is usually enough to get you free so that you can summon other stuff, especially in combination with things like Twin Twisters, Harpies, and the Icarus attack. Really though, these are kind of tech cards. I think the optimal strategy might be, if you really wanted to go hard into the paint, would be to replace the Icarus attack, the Twin Twisters, the Harpie's Feather Duster, replace all of that with just more hand traps, so that you can prevent your opponent from making a board if you happen to go second. I guess it really depends what format you're playing. On Master Duel, I feel like you always gotta play some spell trap removal, because there are decks like Eldritch that will just set 5, your hand traps will be nigh useless, and you'll want to have stuff like Harpie's Feather Duster, Twin Twisters, to clear the field and then allow you to set up your unbreakable board lock. Other than that, we just got some one-ofs. Elbors and Simorgh Sky Battle are both searchable during your combo. Don't really need to play them at 3. This one is more of a backup. You could again cut this if you were just going for the lockdown. And then we've got all the Simorgh cards, which again, if you're just going for the lockdown, all you need is Dark Simorg and the Barrier Statue. These 3 are pretty much just here if your main plan fails, if you want to go into some backups. Apex Avian, probably still worth running. These 2, probably not, but if I'm making a Simorgh deck, I might as well run the actual Simorgh cards, you know, show what they can do. Plus, they've got quite a bit of attack. 2,900 natively. With the field spell, they're going up to 3,200, which is pretty beefy, allows you to get over anything that they might have been able to summon that can get over these things. As for the extra deck, it's mostly for show, as you've seen. You probably want the Harpie Conductor, as many Simorgh Sovereignties as you can run. Tri-Brigade Shireg can come in useful, as can some of these Wing Beast cards, Ice Beast, Zeraphane, and Castel. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but when you summon these out of the graveyard, you can only summon Wing Beast for the turn. We have a couple level 4s, so the fact that we could summon these back and make something that can negate everything on the field or bounce something back is occasionally useful, but most of the time if you're stuck having to do that, you're already in a pretty bad position. We do have a couple generic things, the Nightmare Phoenix to get rid of back row, Firefighting Daruma Doll to get rid of back row, Great Fly to just boost over attack if someone's got close to what we have and we need to get over them. But overall, you could probably play whatever you want in here, which is why I went with the Pot of Prosperity. You could just as easily play Extravagance in here if you wanted to, since you only really got 2 cards that you need and the chances that you'll banish both of them are pretty low. But considering you can get started with the Simorgh Onslaught, I felt like this was a pretty good choice. You can just pick and choose what you don't need, as we've been doing. Plus, I went the whole series, and I don't think I ever played this, so I wanted to play it at least once, even if it was on the last episode. As for the side deck, it's mostly just other options. Forbidden Droplet, pretty good in this deck, because again, you can discard any of the Simorghs and then summon them, especially if they have no back row. They do also have a spell trap that lets you return all your opponent's spell traps to the hand by discarding a winged beast. So it's essentially like a Hey Trunade, but you can search it. Might be worth playing 1 or 2, especially if you're playing matches and you need something in the side deck for when you're going second. Could also add in another Twin Twisters. Tri-Brigades actually have quite a bit of synergy with this deck because we're all playing Winged Beast. And there's this card, Tri-Brigade Line, that lets you discard a monster and then search one with a different type, as long as it's one of the tri-types. So you can discard all our Winged Beasts and search Karass, who is a beast, and then add some Tri-Brigade stuff on top of that. Tri-Brigades aren't great going first unless you specifically get Revolt, and I'm not sure if there's room for that package in here, but if you wanted to try it, there's certainly the option. There's also a couple more extenders if you want to do some more extensive link building, especially if you want to do it before you lock yourself into Winged Beast, maybe add an Appaloosa on top of everything else. There's a black wing that's a winged beast that you can just special summon for free if you control no monsters. It's also a dark card, which means it has some synergy with Dark Simorg. There's Cockadoodle-Doo, who's a tuner, might open up some synchro plays. And Swift Birdman Joe, who can't special summon himself. But we have some stuff to like lower his levels, so you could just normal summon him. Or you could tribute summon him by tributing a wind and send all spell traps back to the owner's hand. So just another potential giant Trunade. And I think the might be searchable. I am not exactly sure, and I don't really care to find out at the moment. The only other thing worth mentioning here is Winged Requital. This is Pot of Greed for Winged Beast. I love playing this card, just if you control 2 Winged Beasts, pay 600 and draw 2 cards. It's pretty nice, especially if you can't afford the Prosperities. This is a cool budget option. That being said, it conflicts with this, so I was running both originally, and I decided to cut it in favor of the Icarus attacks, which have worked out alright. But yeah, there's the deck. Hopefully you enjoyed a crazy thing like this. Even if someone makes a lockdown, they're usually not including the Simorgh of Darkness and stuff. Maybe I could do some more interesting plays as we go into the second half of the duel. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Big O! Big O, big O, big O! Bum, 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 bum. Alright, let's go ahead and Foolish Burial to start out with. See if we can fiend any Ash Blossoms that might be in the hand. No? No? Okay, that's good. Let's send this. And then we'll activate the Pot of Prosperity. Pot of Prosperity, turn, turn, turn. Give me some shit. Let's go for that, and Totem Bird. Haven't summoned Totem Bird yet. Getting 2 level 3s is hard. Nope, they saved the Ash. They knew it was coming, so they baked a cake. So yeah, let's go ahead and special summon this. Unless you're going to hit me out of the graveyard. Because a monster was special summoned, that'll trigger the Bird of Extermination. We'll normal summon that. Send a card to the graveyard. And then we'll search a spell trap. Unfortunately, the spell trap we search will not be able to be... It won't be the Searcher card because we don't have any more monsters in our hand. And so we won't be able to tribute summon. We won't be able to do the things we want to do. So instead, we're going to send one of these. And I think we're just going to search the Trap card. That'll help protect us a mite bit. Summon this back. Since we don't have the Dark Simorg, we'll just go into regular Simorgh. We'll set 2. And then during the end phase, we'll summon a thing. What do we want to summon? We have the Icarus attack. So I think the best thing to go is just the barrier statue. Just locking them down with a big old barrier statue, just barring their entry. Let's wait for the normal summon. That'll be funnier. Oh, this happens to be a wind. You could summon this card from your hand. When a card is activated while you control a Brave token, you could shuffle this card into the deck, negate the activation. Okay. So let's go ahead and activate Sky Battle. Before they get a chance to negate, I'm not sure what attribute the Brave token is. They have a 2000 attack monster, and they can only attack the Bird of Sovereignty. And they have surrendered. Who needs a big fancy combo? All you need is the barrier statue and this. Okay. Unless I can get the full combo off. Unless I can get the full thing in actual duel, I don't think I'm going to use the barrier statue anymore. Let's see what we can do without the barrier statue. Alright, here we are, the Fightin 7th. I almost said the final 7th. I guess it is the final Fightin 7th versus the Hulk, The Hulkster wants to fight us. Let's see what we can do. We got one part of our combo. Let's try for 2. Again, I don't know why I'm only going for 3. Maybe I should go for 6. Comment in the comments what's better, 3 or 6. Doesn't matter. Got Ash Blossomed anyway. Who even needs to exist? At least we got this. Let's go ahead and, yeah, I think we need this. The only problem is we don't have the thing that we want, or we don't have the other thing that we want. What do we discard? Dark Simorg can be summoned out of the graveyard, but you have to banish cards from your hand, which is not good. A Dark and a Wind. I have to search a Dark and a Wind. Let's see what we can get here. I don't think there's anything I can do, unfortunately. My deck's too slow for you to sec type. I'll play it through. Alright. I don't know what that means. We'll get the Hazelgrove. And I guess just one of these so we could try it again next turn. We don't have the stuff. I mean, we can Dark Simorg here, but that would cost us the Bird of Extermination, and all it would do is turn off traps. This we can banish to lower a monster by 6, but we don't have another normal summon. So yeah, we're just good. What did he say again? Oh crap, my deck's too slow for you sex type. I'll play it through. Okay. Harpie's Feather Duster. Dark Bribe! Oh. So dark, much bribe. I'll discard that. Got another Ash Blossom? No? Okay. We're going to go for this and this. And then we'll activate the Twin Twisters. Let's discard this to try to pop these 2. Got another Dark Bribe for me? I said no! So many bribes. Corruption is rampant. Who would have thought such a thing? Okay, what do we got? Let's normal summon this. Hopefully this will let us normal summon this. Hopefully this will let us normal summon this. What do we, Fluonderees? We just did 3 normal summons. I think I want to get the Green Bird. I think this will be cool. Well, Green Bird. At least they nerfed your main Link. Yup. And since you've been nice, I won't play it. Even though I have it. Just you wonder, just you wipe. Let's go for this. Okay, let's activate this. We'll activate this. We can reveal 1 less tribute. Hello. Nice to meet you. We can normal summon. Let's tribute off the weakest thing. Whoa, whoa, the weakest thing. That gives us the big dude. And then I guess since we promised not to summon our biggest monster, let's summon... Do you have any monsters in the graveyard? You do. Let's summon Hazel Gravel. Behold! Hazel Gravel. His name is impronounceable! I'm gonna banish your ash. 5100. I go in for attack. Magic Cylinder. Well, I'm gonna have to stop that. Tribute that off. Dang. That almost got me. A good attempt. I must ask, though, why in the competitive server, if you're playing an older deck, shouldn't you... Wouldn't this be more casual? Like, not trying to shame them or anything, not trying to be like, oh, your deck's casual, just, you know, clearly this is not a competitive deck. This is not something you would bring into a competitive environment. This is Sword Soul. Dang. I got lucky then. Either way, thanks for the game. Have a nice day. Smile. GG. Indeed. I like the idea of saying good game to your opponent, but saying GG has become like, to me it's just associated with people who are assholes. It's something someone says before they have game to sort of be like, ha, that's GG, get out of here. That's why I'm always like, indeed, it was a good game. I hope you have a nice day. By writing the whole thing out, it's a little bit, it seems a little bit more personable, a little more friendly, at least to me. So, we get another win. Was that the Fightin 7th? Did I lose? I think that was the Fightin 7th. Yeah, it was more like the friendly 7th. That guy was friendly. I barely wanted to fight him at all. He had Magic Cylinder. I almost got hit for 5100. If the good thing that these can specifically negate spell traps. So let's go ahead into the Ocho, the 8th, and see if we can keep up our winning streak. Alright, here we are, number 8 versus Passy Gamer. You may notice that player has been kicked. I don't play the same person twice. Someone comes in with a name that's already been used. I don't use that name. Normal summon Alistair. I've heard legends about this. Could this be the fabled thing? Could this be Alistair, the invoker of madness? The question is it going to be like Mechaba Pass, or am I about to see a whole bunch of like Shadal combos and stuff? Go into Almirage, go into Secure Gardener, then you hit it. That gives you the light monster you need. A light plus an Alistair equals dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Mecha ba-ba-ba. So you got one negate. And then what? Eldritch invoked. Alrighty. Oh. Only one trap, though, at least for now. Okay, what do? Well, I can send that trap back to the hand unless they negate the attack, or the monster effect. Which, I mean, they might. Who can say? Who knows what lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows. So they're gonna negate that, but I do get another normal summon. I'ma do it. You can't stop me. Bet you didn't know this card existed. It's technically not out, and there's a Solemn Strike. Well, and this is the only one that can't summon itself back, which means I don't have any monsters, which means my back row is useless. I mean, I guess I'll set it anyway, but I think that may be the game. Good thing this wasn't the Fightin 7th. More like the dying eighth. The eighth of a man is worth twice of a quarter. Oh, don't look at me. Well, there you go. You know, we get another loss, and it was a fast one. I mean, one way or another, this deck is going to be fast. It's not a very grindy deck. It doesn't have a whole lot of options. Fortunately, just got that Solemn Strike. Would have been better if we get any of our Spell Trap removal. This Bird of Protection didn't protect us nearly as much as I had hoped. Either way, let's go ahead into the 9th duel and see what we can come up against. Duel number 9, and it feels so fine. Woo! Versus Dane. A Great Dane, perhaps? Am I fighting a dog? I don't think I want to defeat a pupper in battle. That doesn't seem very nice. Oh boy, back row. Not a fan of all the back row. Where's my Harpie's Feather Duster when I need it? Needlebug's Nest, alright. I'm not as worried anymore. I mean, there are Solemns and some other stuff in there. This is perhaps Paleo or Jank. Perhaps some kind of Paleo Jank. So we're going to dig deep. We're going to go for 6 and hope that perhaps, possibly, we could get to our back row removal. Because that would be useful. And they lost connection. Well, I guess I won't count that. Let's go find another 9th duel. Pegaso. Pegaso here. Pegaso there. Pegaso, Pegaso. Ooh, and I'm rocking my remotes. Or not my remotes, my microphones. I really need to get a better setup with these. These are nice, but they don't work nearly as well as I would hoped. Hopefully that doesn't sound awful. If so, Wyncrer can hopefully turn down the volume. Alright, looks like a Brave Token, which is Earth. Good to know. Pretty sure. Yeah. Fairy Earth. Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind for the future. The Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds can't stop the Wandering Griffin Rider. But it can stop the Brave Token. At least if you're going first. If you're going second, I'm not sure what you're going to do. Especially with this hand. Dang old Barrier Statue in the opener. Dang old Simorgh of Darkness in the opener. Dang old Foolish Burial when you've got back row in the opener. Not very good. Where's my Harpie's Feather Duster? Where's my Twin Twisters? I guess it doesn't matter because I got a dang old negate anyway. So I may be screwed. I've heard a lot about Brave Token being really strong. Maybe as like an engine or something. Because one does a thing into another thing and it gets you like a free negate that you just use every turn. A lot of people were making fun of the fact that like people are going to be paying $300 for a single negate. Maybe that'll be worth it. Maybe not. Oh boy, Scythe Locked 2, my favorite. And DPE? I guess we're just going to go over to the 10th duel. I think I'm going to go over to the 10th duel because I don't think I can beat all of this. All of these things? All of these things. Sure, why not? Normally I don't let another player in here once we've got one, but what could be more fitting than ending the 10th duel on another player? And not going first. 40-something card deck. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43 card deck. So perhaps not the most competent. We will see. I mean, I started with the Bird of Extermination. So I can do some stuff depending on what they have. Setting a card, that always looks good. Setting 2 cards. 3 cards? If I could pull Twin Twisters now, would be a good time. Okay, so I'm going to activate this. Again, to both bait out an Ash and put something in the graveyard. Let's go for this one. And then let's see if we can dig into our 8s. Let's go. Sorry, Great Fly, you're not getting summoned this episode no matter what. Neither are you, or you, or you, or you. Now you hit the Ash? No. No, not quite. Really would have liked to get some kind of spell trap removal here, but I guess we'll be fine. Let's go ahead. Yeah, I guess we want... Damn, this sucks. Yeah, I guess we want this. Because I could bounce back one of the back row, but I wouldn't be able to bounce back both of the back row. Probably best to just go for what I can go for. Just get as many searches as possible. Although, who knows, maybe if I could fade out one of them, the other one would go away. I do have a lot of monsters in the graveyard. Oh, no, let's just go for all the summons. And, yeah, I guess just another one of these. The big dark bird is not going to be useful. Let's normal summon this. Oh, the fact that it's not letting me activate first makes me believe that this, one of these, is a solemn or something. Okay, they're letting it go through. We will activate the effect, and then we will activate the effect. We will normal summon a copy of itself. We will search out. What do we want to get? The field spell? I think we want the fieldy spell. That's probably the best thing to get. Or we could get the red bird, and we could use that to get the field spell. Yeah, let's try that. Not the red bird, the green bird. Then this will activate. We'll send that as cost to do a little searchy-do. Okay. We're making our music in the streets. We're getting there. Activate the spell trap. What do you got to say about that? You're going to hit me with a cosmic cyclone over Elborz, the sacred land of Simorgh? One less tribute this turn. Hello. Do I have a dark monster in the grave? Just the one. So if I'm going to use this effect and normal summon, I'm going to get the Lord of the Storm by tributing the dark monster. That way I have a dark and a light in the grave for the anti-spell fragrance. Okay, that hit me with the Solemn Judgment, which is sad. The question is, do they have 2 Solemn Judgments? If they do, I just might be up the creek without a creek. No, they do not appear to have 2. Good. Most good indeed. Let's go to the battle phase. Let's attack over this. Crawlers. Oh, crawlers. You make me sad until you got to be taller. Alright. Well, at least I can keep them off the field spell. Let's go ahead and set this. Yeah, do we want to? Yeah, because we've got this, so let's just keep them off of any kind of spell traps that we can do. We don't want them to get the field spell, because then they can start Link Summon. We don't want them to use World Legacy and Shadow, so they can start getting things. That is probably an Infinite Impermanence, if I had to guess. Of course I draw it now! Why wouldn't I draw it any time but now? I can't activate it because of the anti-spell fragrance. It works for me too! They've got another Solemn. Yep, it was another Solemn. The question is this the thing that destroys the back row? I guess there's only one. No, you know, when it comes to crawlers, it's probably best not to antagonize them. They can flip it up on their own time, and then if it's the thing that summons something back, they're stuck. World Legacy Pawns. Gonna lose to dang old crawlers. Yeah, if I attacked into that, they would have gotten it back, and then they could use this to summon things back. Target one monster on the field. Alright. I'm in a not good position, but I could be in a worse position. All I need to do is blow up their back row, and then I can start summoning out of the deck like crazy and making a whole bunch of links. Add a crawler from deck to hand. Okay. So they're going to make, yeah, and of course you get that one. So you can blow up the anti-spell fragrance, so you can get going next turn. Truly, this is what a deck is all about. A crazy lockdown deck struggling valiantly against weird jank. Never has there been a more intense back and forth. He's down to 1675. I am taking 1,000 points of damage from 2 crawlers. Why he hasn't linked those crawlers away into something that has more than 1,000 attack, I do not know. Waiting to do it in the main phase 2 for some godforsaken reason? Or are you keeping them there so that you can pawns? Okay. Drawing a card. Okay. Get those 2 out of my face. Was it another Solemn? No, it was World Legacy Mind Meld. Awesome. Now I have exactly 2 monsters that I can summon. Fuck. I thought I had a 3rd one. Thought there were 3 in here. Yeah, why can't I summon all 3? Oh no, there's just 2. What can I make with my 2 that will be of any good? Let's see. Because of an opponent's card effect. I guess we'll just see. But it came back. Have to summon in defense mode. Have to summon in defense mode. Harpie Conductor is all that I make. Destroy 1 spell trap instead. Alrighty. They got 2200 attack. We can go into this. Oh. Oh, and we win. Because that's more... I didn't even... No! I didn't count! What? I've been doing this for 5 years and I still don't count the life points. I'm sitting here trying to calculate. It's like, oh yeah, they activated 2 Solemn Judgment. They left a monster with 300 attack. What was in your extra deck? What was a crawler question mark? What was in your extra deck? I must know. I have to know. Okay, here we are looking at the replay. What was in here? Secure Gardener. Almirage. Okay, well they have the crawler links. I don't know why they didn't make some of them. They have significantly more attack. They would have prevented them from taking all the damage. I don't think they used other stuff. They got Deus Ex in here. They've got, Wonder why they have Almirage in the one thing. Weird. Oh, hey, Titanocider. I forgot about this. I need to look up how much that is in Master Duel. That might be worth playing. Anyway, let's go to the end screen. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Bird's Wild Ride. We went 7-3. A nice average episode to end out on. And probably about as well as could be expected with this. Honestly, anytime we didn't go first, we were in danger. And even when we did go first, any kind of hand traps kind of disrupts this. I'm sure there's a way you could do this to make it more consistent, to make the lockdown really work. But hopefully you had fun regardless. That's what this show has been at the end of the day. It's all about just been having fun, being goofy, making little decks where like a guy and a little bird is just gonna like tip his top hat and be like, howdy! And that's... my head gets kind of sweaty. Gotta put something in there. Oh well, I'm leaving it in. It's the end of the thing, end of the episode. Not many people make it this far, but for those of you who did make it this far, thank you. I appreciate you coming out here. I appreciate you watching the show in general, especially if you've been here for many years now at this point. And again, I want to say that even though the regular episodes are over, I may do more of this. And even if I don't, the show that's going to be replacing this, the show that I'm doing on Master Duel, gonna have the same vibe. I'm not depressed about it, I'm excited. And hopefully I can make you excited about it too. For now though, I want to thank Davon Crushin once again, and all the patrons. I'll do that on the end screen. So, thanks to all them, thanks to you, and until next time, good luck, and have fun. And with that, Legos, we draw What a Deck to a close. At least in name. Even though I'll be making a new show, the spirit of What a Deck will live on in whatever new Yu-Gi-Oh! Content that comes next. Think of it less like What a Deck is dying, it's not gone forever, it's graduating. It's growing and evolving into the next stage of life, kind of like we all do from time to time. Such growth can only happen with the support of the patrons, and while all of them help in their own way, I'd like to give a special recognition to this month's $25 and higher patrons, who give just a little bit more than most. Their names are Davon Crushin, Tiberius Kane Moriarty, Yellow, Cat Monarch, 01503, Austin Glover, Chris W., Death's Dancer, Ya Boy Slurp, Montrai, Store Brand Simon Belmont, Aiden McDonald, Chris Kessler, Dancing Joker, Diotic, Matt, Muffin Fiend, Nathan, Nerozard22, Nightfang, Penumbra Eterna, Quintingent, Robert Palk, Taiyo no Kitsune, and Trevor F. If you'd like to join them on this channel's wild ride, then the Patreon link is on the screen and listed down in the description. Even $1 really helps, especially during this time of big transitions. This episode's secret question of the day is, what is your favorite moment from What a Deck history? Let me know down in the comments, and until next time, stay frosty, Legos.